Welcome! Today on the Spanky and Dilbert Show, we're going to be discussing 3 movies. Moneyball, The Graduate, and Dark Knight Rises. First off is Moneyball, directed by Bennett Miller with famous A-list actors like Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill. This is my main man Zilbert. He'll be helping me uncover the details behind the movie Moneyball. And don't forget, we'll be here all week, so be sure to tip your waitress.
Yeah, so let's get down to business, Spanky. Let's look at some questions from our viewers and take some phone calls.
Here's what our first viewer has to ask. Who was the director, and if he has done any other major movies, what were they? Dilbert, why don't you go ahead and
His name is Bennett Miller, and no, he hasn't made any other major or popular movies. But one of the writers, named Aaron Sorkin, has also wrote The Social Network, A Few Good Men, and a few others. One of our viewers has a question for you now, Spanky. They said, can you tell the difference between Aaron Sorkin movies and TV shows?
Yeah, man, there's a video on YouTube. It's called Sorkinisms that shows the similarities of lines and quotes between all the shows and movies he has written. I feel like your question will be answered perfectly if you just go to YouTube and watch that. Very good stuff.
We're going to go ahead and get our last question in. This one will be by random, and will be by a phone call. After this phone call, we'll take a break. Okay, now let's take a call from Mr. Boo.
If you had to rank Moneyball with other sports movies like Rudy, The Blind Side, and Remember the Titans, where would you put it?
Alright, my rankings with these 4 movies would definitely be Rudy as number 1, Moneyball as number 2, Remember the Titans as 3, and Blind Side, we'll go with 4.
And I could agree somewhat with that Spanky just said, except I would switch Remember the Titans and Rudy.
Why would you do that? Why can't we just do Rudy? Rudy's number 1.
That's just my opinion, man.
Alright, I'll live with
And now we're going to go to a commercial.
Ariel. Has anybody seen Ariel today? Nice of you to join us, Ariel. Please have a seat. What is Ariel doing asleep again?
Have some coffee.
Coffee's not good enough.
I got some soda pop.
Neither soda pop. What he needs is
Some fizz!
fizz. What's that encyclopedia? I need a math book. Give me that iPad. Teachers, fizz.
Cheerleaders!
Fizz! Fizz!
Basketball players. Bikers.
Fizz!
And now on to our second movie review. This one's The Graduate. Made in 1987, the director was Mike Nichols. It was really an impact movie from the 60s. Okay, Dilbert, let's go back to our page and look at some questions from The Graduate. This woman asks, what was the theme of this movie? I couldn't really understand what it was trying to say.
In this movie, Ben wasn't real sure what he wanted to do with his life yet after college, so he was depressed and very worried about what his future would hold. So when Mrs. Robinson wanted to have an affair with him, she thought she could relieve some pressure from his life as long as she could. After a while, Ben was feeling used by Mrs. Robinson. Once they stopped their sneaking around, Ben fell for Miss Robinson. The rest I won't explain for those viewers watching who haven't seen the movie yet.
We'll take one more question. Dilbert, you read it off, and I'll answer for the viewer.
Alright. This viewer asks, I have heard this movie was an impact movie of the 60s. What does this mean, and why did they say this is The Graduate?
This movie was an example of an avant-garde, which means this movie was an experiment for the writer because he was trying to say something about the society which was very uncommon and very unethical at this time in America's history. Alright, we got another commercial break. So here's some words from our sponsors.
Take the bass line out. Jiggle. Bounce with it. Yeah. Let it bump though.
And we're back. So our third and final movie review, is going to be over The Dark Knight Rises with Christian Bale as Batman. But before that, we're going to go ahead and explain why we are sitting here and wearing this. Well, to be honest, there was a flood. We almost drowned. Like, I saw him. We almost drowned. I saw that.
Tragic.
Yeah, we almost drowned. And so we decided to wait a few minutes, get some other clothes in our lockers, and we moved studios. So now we are here wearing this. And on this movie review, we're not going to be taking questions. We're actually just going to start saying some facts about the movie. So the first one is Christopher Nolan is the first director to complete a full trilogy of Batman films, but the second to direct a full trilogy of films on a superhero, after Sam Raimi completed his Spider-Man movies.
Okay, so the release date was July 20th, 2012. Some of the genres were action, crime, and thriller. The runtime is about 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's PG-13. And let me give you a little summary. Despite his tarnished reputation after the events of The Dark Knight, in which he took the rap of dense crimes, Batman feels compelled to intervene to assist the city and its police force, which is struggling to cope with Bane's plans to destroy the city.
And in The Dark Knight Rises, Catwoman actually comes back. And this Catwoman, she's a lot better looking than the previous Catwoman, I must say. Anne Hathaway plays her, and good looking Catwoman, I must say. Some fun facts for you guys. Fun facts, got it, cool. Alright, Christian Bale is the first actor to portray Batman, or Bruce Wayne, in 3 Batman films. What's your fun fact?
According to Gary Oldman, Christopher Nolan told the actors the ending of the film verbally to avoid any leaks.
Alright, well, that is the ending of our Spanky and Dilbert show. So,
tip your waitresses.
Yeah, do tip your waitresses. And make sure that you come back and come watch us more often, because we'll be here every week. Stay classy, Oklahoma. Oh, hey. Today on the Spanky and Dilbert show. Why you gotta laugh like that, man? We had this recording on.
The Social Network, and A Few Good Men, and a few others. Ad-lib a little.
You read that. You read that, dude.
It will be by random, and will be by phone call. I can't talk, dude.
That's pretty good.
I almost started laughing. Dude, I almost...
Hey, we're back. What's up, baby?
We're actually going.
I see that. We're not actually doing it.
You're not supposed to...